Unsightly stain. The darkness engulfed the narrow hallway as Ji-hoon cautiously approached the dilapidated apartment. He had heard whispers among the locals about a popular Korean urban legend, a terrifying tale of mold that grew on walls, whispering in the dead of night. Most dismissed it as an age-old superstition, but Ji-hoon couldn't resist the allure of the macabre. Ignoring the warnings, he stepped into the apartment, his heart pounding in his chest. The foul odor assaulted his senses, a sickly sweet stench that seemed to cling to every surface. The walls were covered in patches of black mold, spreading like a disease, pulsating with a life of their own. Ji-hoon shuddered but pressed on, determined to unravel the truth behind the legend. Equipped with a flashlight and a mold-cleaning kit, Ji-hoon approached the first wall adorned with the grotesque growth. As he began scrubbing away at the mold, a soft whimpering sound reached his ears. He froze, his heart skipping a beat. The crying grew louder, echoing through the empty apartment, ringing in his ears. Trepidation filled Ji-hoon's chest as he continued scrubbing, the crying intensifying into a haunting wail. It grew louder, more desperate, as though trapped souls were clawing at the fabric of reality. The sound reverberated through his bones, setting his nerves ablaze. The air around him grew heavy, suffocating his every breath. Shadows danced on the walls, twisting and contorting into monstrous shapes. Cold sweat trickled down Ji-hoon's forehead as he fought to maintain his sanity. But the crying persisted, clawing its way into his mind. Driven by a mix of curiosity and dread, Ji-hoon pressed on, determined to uncover the source of the torment. The mold seemed to writhe under his touch, as if alive, pulsating with an otherworldly energy. He had to know what lay beneath the surface. As Ji-hoon scraped away the last remnants of the mold, the crying reached a crescendo, a maddening symphony of shrieks and wails that threatened to tear his sanity apart. The walls seemed to tremble, the apartment filling with an unnerving presence. And then, in a sudden burst of ethereal light, a spectral figure materialized before him. It was a young girl, her face contorted in anguish, her eyes hollow and devoid of life. Her tattered clothes hung loosely on her emaciated frame, stained with the marks of a forgotten tragedy. Ji-hoon's heart seized in his chest as he beheld the apparition. He had stumbled upon a spirit trapped within the mold-infested walls, a tortured soul crying out for release. The girl's mournful gaze bore into him, piercing his very soul. Driven by empathy, Ji-hoon vowed to free the girl from her torment. He delved deeper into the apartment, exploring every nook and cranny, searching for answers. The spirit followed him, her cries reverberating through the decaying corridors. In a hidden chamber, Ji-hoon discovered a diary, its pages yellowed with age. The entries spoke of a forgotten tragedy, a young girl left to wither away in this forsaken place. She had perished, her spirit unable to find peace, forever trapped within the walls that bore witness to her suffering. With newfound determination, Ji-hoon set out to release the girl's spirit. He sought the help of a shaman, an old woman who possessed knowledge of the supernatural. Together, they performed an ancient ritual, chanting incantations to banish the curse that held the girl captive. As the final words echoed through the apartment, the mold-infested walls trembled and cracked. The apparition of the girl flickered, her anguished expression replaced by a glimmer of hope. And then, in a blinding burst of light, she vanished, her cries fading into the ether. Ji-hoon breathed a sigh of relief, believing he had brought an end to the haunting. But as he turned to leave, a sense of unease washed over him. The apartment seemed to come alive, the mold pulsating with an unnatural vigor. In a horrifying revelation, Ji-hoon realized that his actions had awakened something far more sinister. The mold erupted from the walls, engulfing the apartment in a writhing mass of tendrils. It snaked around his ankles, crawling up his legs, suffocating him. Desperate, Ji-hoon fought against the encroaching darkness, but it was futile. The mold consumed him, its tendrils penetrating his every pore. He screamed, his cries drowned out by the merciless shrieking of the mold. And then, silence. The apartment stood empty once more, the mold reclaiming its territory. Ji-hoon was never seen again, his fate forever entwined with the urban legend he had dared to confront. The tale of the mold-infested walls lived on, a chilling reminder of the horrors that lurked in the shadows. The locals whispered about the cursed apartment, warning others to stay away, but their cautionary tales fell on deaf ears. The legend grew, spreading like a festering mold, reminding all who heard it of the fate that awaited those who dared to disturb the restless spirits. As for Ji-hoon, his name became nothing more than a footnote in the annals of urban legends, a cautionary tale whispered in hushed tones. His tragic demise served as a reminder that some mysteries are better left unsolved, and some horrors are best left undisturbed. And so, the apartment stood, a haunting reminder of the darkness that dwelled within. The mold continued to thrive, creeping along the walls, whispering its eerie secrets to those who dared to listen. The cries of the girl lingered in the air, a haunting melody that echoed through the desolate corridors. The legacy of the mold grew, spreading beyond the confines of the cursed apartment. It became an urban legend, a cautionary tale passed down through generations. It served as a chilling reminder of the fragility of the human spirit, and the horrors that could be unleashed through curiosity and ignorance. The mold grew on, its malevolent presence seeping into the lives of unsuspecting victims. People would find themselves inexplicably drawn to the apartment, unable to resist the allure of the legend. And one by one, they would fall victim to the mold, their fates forever entwined with the tormented spirits trapped within. As the years passed, the legend of the mold-infested walls continued to haunt the town, casting a long shadow over the community. The cursed apartment became a place of morbid fascination, drawing thrill-seekers and paranormal enthusiasts from far and wide. But the true horror of the mold lay not in the apartment itself, but in the darkness it awakened within the hearts of those who dared to confront it. The mold fed on fear, growing stronger with each victim it claimed, its insidious presence spreading like a disease. And so, the legend endured, a grim reminder of the price one pays for delving into the unknown. The mold-infested walls stood as a testament to the folly of human curiosity, a chilling testament to the horrors that lay just beneath the surface. As Halloween night fell upon the town, the whispers of the legend grew louder, carried on the wind like a mournful dirge. The cursed apartment stood in silent vigil, its walls pulsating with a malevolent energy. And those who passed by could swear they heard the faint sound of crying, drifting through the night, a haunting reminder of the darkness that dwelled within. And so, the legend of the mold-infested walls endured, a tale of terror that would continue to keep readers on the edge of their seats, their imaginations running wild with the eerie and spooky action that unfolded within its pages. But it would always end with a sad ending, a reminder that some stories were meant to be left untold, and some horrors were meant to remain hidden in the shadows of the night.